Is BRICS really an economic group that the United States and Western countries should be afraid of? Where did BRICS come from? Who are they? What are they? And how do they operate? What are their strengths and weaknesses? How stable are they? And are they really that scary? We don't know. Even Donald Trump, who knows if he's afraid of BRICS or not? But one thing's for sure, Donald Trump has been heavily criticizing BRICS. Most recently, he even announced that if this economic group called BRICS, no matter how big or powerful they become, if they dare to band together and stop using the US dollar, then they can expect a 100% tariff and say goodbye to the United States. If you want to support us and do your homework, you can use this QR code right here. But if you're not able to scan it, that's okay. Just make sure you watch this video until the end because it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm Finsai. Let's enjoy this together on the Save Money Monster channel. Donald Trump made a statement on social media that went viral around the world, saying that the BRICS group is coming together to ditch the dollar. He basically said, if you think we're just going to sit back and watch, forget about it. We, the United States, want the BRICS group to promise that they won't create a new BRICS currency and that they won't support any currency to compete with the dollar. Otherwise, get ready to face tariffs. 100%. They can say goodbye to the top-tier US market, no question about it. Honestly, that statement is just so Donald Trump, but it also sounds like something that people on the receiving end probably wouldn't be too thrilled about. So in this video, I wanted to dig a little deeper into BRICS. I'm curious, if Donald Trump and the US are going to go after BRICS this hard, what does BRICS have to fight back with? Let's find out. Let's start with the original BRICS countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. And that's not even counting the new member countries that have recently joined. There are quite a few, and Thailand is one of them. But right now, the membership status of some of these new countries isn't entirely clear. So in this video, I'll talk about the potential of BRICs, focusing on the original 5 countries first, just the 5 core BRICs nations. Together, they already cover 26.7% of the world's land area and have a combined population of 3.2 billion people, which is nearly half the world's population, specifically 41.5% of the global population. Economically, they generate about a quarter of the world's total output. According to data from the IMF, the GDP, or the total income, of these 5 BRICs countries, they've already surpassed the G7 since 2023, and there's a trend that they'll keep pulling ahead even more. Hearing these numbers, you can interpret them in several ways, right? If you look at BRIC's figures, you'll see that BRIC is big, it's growing, and it's expanding rapidly. That's because BRICS is open and accepts new membership applications. But the G7? They haven't accepted new members in a long time. So you can see that, okay, BRICS is growing, and if you look at the numbers overall, it means BRICS has already overtaken the G7. As for BRICS's goal, everyone knows it. It's not complicated at all. BRICS was established with the intention of dethroning the dollar by encouraging each country to use their own local currencies instead of the dollar in order to promote de-dollarization. Of course, that this desire or objective could actually shake the dollar's throne. The reason they want to stop using the dollar is because every country in BRICS doesn't want to be under the power of sanctions or boycotts from the US dollar. That's the main point. And for the third point, BRICS, which can be translated as brick wall, if the BRICS economic group comes together tightly and accomplishes its mission, it would be no different from the world having a brick wall clearly dividing trade zones. Of course, creating such a barrier to globalization and clearly separating Eastern and Western trade could make some people who have to pick sides lose out. And the fourth point is that among the core BRICS members, there are 2 countries, China and Russia, that are communist regimes. That means if BRICS manages to become a major world power, trade will become harder to monitor. And the fifth point, but that doesn't mean the BRICS group will automatically unite and become so strong that they'll easily accomplish all the missions they set out to do. Because even within BRICS, the members don't exactly get along that well. I'll tell you more about that in a bit. But first, let's get to know BRICS, how it started and why it became BRICS. In the very beginning, it was just BRIC, not BRICs. There was no S yet, no South Africa. But actually at first, the BRIC group wasn't originally a coalition of countries that intended to band together and challenge the world like this. BRIC was just a category that economists use to refer to these countries, that's all. But after the world went through the hamburger crisis, that is, the subprime mortgage crisis that originated in the United States in 2008, the BRIC countries started looking at each other like, maybe we should join forces. They wanted to build a stable and strong financial system so that crises exported from the United States wouldn't mess up their countries again. So the BRIC group was like, all right, who's in? Put your hand in. We had our first BRICS summit in 2009. That's right, the very first BRICS summit was held in 2009, hosted in Russia. After that, the New Development Bank was established, which is basically the BRICS' own bank. It's an organization similar to the IMF, providing loans and financial support to developing countries, but it doesn't have the same mission as the IMF, that aims to attack or overthrow the US dollar from the start. As for the events that turned the BRICS group, which at first was just an ordinary economic group, into an economic group that is more like a coalition similar to the Avengers, formed specifically to protect human rights and safeguard the citizens of developing countries from the immense power of the United States. It was when Russia attacked Ukraine and then had $300 billion abruptly confiscated and frozen from the SWIFT system. That was the defining moment when everyone across the globe began to realize, if you can do that to Russia, you can certainly do it to me, too. This made every country afraid that their own foreign reserves, which are kept in US dollars, might not be safe. They worry that one day, out of the blue, the United States might seize their assets too. Because if they could do it to Russia, there's no guarantee they wouldn't do it to other countries, right? That's why governments everywhere are trying to find ways to get themselves out from under the reach of US sanctions in order to protect themselves. The security of their own country's assets, that's what it's about. Let's try to imagine this fairly. If America or Europe had to live under the power of the yuan, and one day China could just sanction them and seize their money, would they accept that? Of course not. No one would accept that. That's exactly how Russia feels. They won't accept it either. Why would they ever agree to that? They'll fight tooth and nail. But ever since the BRICS countries joined hands, the first big summit was in 2009, so it's been 15 years now, and about the idea of backing a new currency with gold, even though at first it didn't seem like a big deal, they've been talking about it for 15 years. As for that new currency, up to now, it still doesn't exist. The Chinese yuan seems the most likely candidate, since China has the biggest economy and is the largest country, so it looks like it would have the most users. Over the past couple of years, it's managed to make several countries able to use the yuan for trade. But even so, the yuan is only used in about 3% of global transactions. Meanwhile, the US dollar, despite all the talk about de-dollarization, drone strikes, and people saying, I'm done with the dollar, I don't want it anymore, the world still uses the US dollar for nearly 60% of transactions. 3% versus 60% is just too big a gap. But if you say that for this reason, BRICS isn't scary, isn't big, or isn't really effective, that's not entirely true either. That's not entirely the case because, honestly, China's economy is huge. It's the world's factory, absolutely massive. And then there's the population of the BRICS countries, which together make up about half the world's people, not to mention their nuclear warheads. One of the factors that makes BRICS look so powerful is they seem more intimidating because they have nuclear warheads. According to data from ICANN, let's break it down by country. Russia has a total of 5,889 nuclear warheads, China has 410, and India has 164. Altogether, the BRICS group has 6,463 nuclear warheads. Having nuclear warheads, even if they're not used, you can't really say it's not scary. It's like living in a house and knowing your neighbor has a military-grade gun. Would you dare to pick a fight with them? As for the economy, technology, and manpower, as I mentioned, BRICS is actually pretty big. But the problem that keeps BRICS from being truly powerful is the main players, China and India, have a pretty loose relationship and keep clashing, especially over their border disputes. As you can see in this picture, they've been fighting for decades and still haven't resolved things. So whenever there's a policy that's supposed to be serious or decisive, a lot of times it just doesn't work out. That's because if a policy goes against the interests of one country, or if it conflicts with another country's interests, then it just doesn't happen. So it doesn't succeed. That's why some Western analysts have said that the BRICS group is actually just a loose coalition. But the reason it's such a big deal and gets so much global attention is because the BRICS countries are coming together to try to break up the world's power structure. And that leads to the big question, is BRICS really a serious threat to the United States? Let's break it down point by point. First point. The unity within BRICS, their collective strength, is there, but not very strong. The next topic is BRICS wealth. BRICS countries generate over 35% of the world's GDP, which is more than the G7, who account for 30% of global GDP. So that means BRICS actually has more money than the G7. As for population, BRICS countries have a combined population of 3.2 billion people, which is basically half the world's population. In terms of human resources, that means BRICS has a lot more people than the G7. But this leads us to the next topic, which is quality of life. Like I mentioned, BRICS generates 35% of the world's GDP, which is more than the G7's 30%. But BRICS has a population of 3.2 billion people, and the quality of life for people in BRICS just can't compare to the G7. Because when you divide the GDP by the number of people within the BRIS group, the GDP per capita, or annual income per person, is only $7,800 per year. In Thai currency, that's about 265,000 baht per year, which isn't much. That averages out to just 22,000 baht per month. Meanwhile, the G7 has an average GDP per capita of $57,000 per person per year. In Thai currency, that's about 1,940,000 baht per person per year. If you break it down by month, that's an average of 160,000 baht per month. Their quality of life is definitely better by a factor of 20,000. Moving on to the next topic, stability and security. Let's start with the negatives. Russia. Russia is the country that has faced the heaviest sanctions in world history, and right now it's in the middle of a war. You could say Russia has survived the sanctions, and that's true, they've made it through, but there's no country that can truly thrive and be happy in the midst of war. Brazil is in the middle of an economic and political crisis. China is currently engaged in a trade war with the United States, and India is in a border conflict with China. Now, looking at stability and security from a positive angle, India is the most populous country in the world. And it's not just about the numbers. The population is high quality. Indian people are highly educated, academically strong, and fluent in English, which allows them to provide offshore services to other countries and bring in significant revenue. China, as I mentioned, is the world's factory, a massive manufacturing powerhouse that exports affordable goods globally, and many countries rely on them. No one can compete with China on price. Chinese goods are just that cheap. Russia, on the other hand, is blessed with abundant resources, almost as if it's God's favorite child. There's still untapped oil beneath the ice, amounting to hundreds of billions of barrels. Russia has so many resources that no matter what kind of sanctions the United States imposes, Russia can just rely on its own resources. Food, oil, you name it. They can survive on their own and even make money selling the surplus. With all these resources, Russia is even able to keep waging war. So to sum it up, are the BRICS countries scary? Well, as long as they don't end up fighting among themselves, you could definitely say they're a force to be reckoned with.